Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. The other day we were looking at background processing, but in fact, before that we started looking at activities. We have seen some best practices on how to create activities or when to create them. It's not like randomly I can create an activity. We should first check if any existing rule forms will suffice my requirement. If not, then I will go for activities, and before creating I should also check if any existing activities will suit my requirement. If none of it does, then go ahead, create your own activity. And on the activity, we have seen it overcomes few limitations that are there on the data transfer, like interacting with the DBs, then looping options, then your exception handling. These kind of things are advantages when it comes to activities. We've seen, I think, a couple of methods also. We have seen a log message, which is used for logging messages. And we have seen call activity, we have seen branch, we have seen queue. How does the system execute this call and branch? What is the difference? I think we've seen all of that, isn't it? Then we have a lot of other methods also for, of course, each one for its own functionality. It's not that we need to explore and implement all of it. Take an enterprise application, you get to use a HTLI around 15 to 20 methods max. But just that, having an idea of each one of it is really, it is good that when the requirement comes in, we would know at least like what method could be used here. Just having an idea of each of the methods is really helpful. And few methods are explicitly related to DB interactions. You will see RDB methods are there. Then you have methods related to properties, your property set. You can invoke decision tables and trees from here. Your map values could be added. Page related properties are there. Then you have OBJ related ones, which are methods that are operated on a single instance of each of your classes. It could be acted upon that. Then you can advance the flow, you can start a new flow. Connect related methods are there. You can invoke your SOAP or IST connectors from this. And in fact, you can load your data page also. Earlier we have seen data pages has a source called activity, which means the activity is sourcing your data pages. On the contrary, inside my activity, I can call a method called loadDataPage. Here the source is going to be a data page that is used on the activity. Vice versa is also possible. But ideally, in most of the activities, we tend to use the connect rules. Call our characters or to invoke our external applications to reach out to them to receive data. Maybe once we start looking at interactions, we'll look into it. But otherwise, activities are highly scalable. You can use it across multiple aspects. You can use it as an activity, you can use it as an on change, you can use it for routing triggers, validate. For all these options, I can use my activity. All of this does not come with a disadvantage. The disadvantage is that your activities might impact the system's performance. Because looking at the complexity of each step, because it has got some loops, it has got a precondition, it has got the actual method execution, then it has got the post-processing, and of course your step page. If you mention a step page, all the action is on the step page. Considering all of these complexities and the number of steps that you have on the activity, they might impact the system's performance. Then I think we will go ahead. We will talk about background processing. Earlier, in order to deal with background processing, typically what happens in background processing is the thing here is that the application is in control of your background processing. I mean, there is no manual intervention. It's not like a person would sit at the system and would do it. Background processing is where the system takes control of the application. When does this happen? This happens where? I think let's talk about some nodes first. What are nodes? Any idea what is a node? No, I have heard node, but not specifically. No problem. Maybe I'll just give you a simple example. You use Facebook. Did you ever have Facebook going down for like 5 hours and 6 hours? Maybe they say no, Facebook is under maintenance. For the next 6 hours you can't use it. Did we ever see that? No, but again, Facebook is also an application. They will have their own versions. They'll have some bugs to be fixed. I mean, probably some maintenance to be taken care. All this are there for Facebook also. But we don't see that going down. How does this happen? Because maintenance is happening parallelly and then the application is also running parallelly. How does it happen? That's because they will have the application distributed on different nodes. That if one node is under maintenance, the other node will take care of working on the application or keeping the application live. Similarly, we will have background processing in another node that the regular application's performance or the regular live application is still good. It's not impacted with your maintenance or it's not impacted with your background. To quote you on another example, when you look at an insurance application where people would generally take policies, then they would have a lot of renewals or a lot of other transactions happening in the back end. Now, for each transaction, I should generate a set of documents. And when you look at a policy document, it will have around like 150 pages with all the clauses and what includes in your policy. What nominations are there? What are your claim related policies? Everything is listed out. For each transaction, I have to generate a set of 100 pages of document. This should happen for every customer. Suppose that today I have like 1000 customers applied for or taken a policy from me. I should generate 1000 different documents for all those customers, isn't it? Yes, and this happens every single day. And look at the renewals. If for a year, maybe my policy expires within the next 7 days, I should keep on sending out reminders like your policy is being expired in the next 7 days. Please renew it. This should be sent for all the customers whose policies are expiring in the next 7 days. Now can I employ a person to look at the system to note each person's policy deals and expiry details, and would he be sending out emails? Is that even possible? No, not possible. I have lakhs of customers. I cannot sit at the system and by the time I note some other new customer would join or some person would have he might have cancelled his policy. Anything might have happened. I cannot have this process manually done. Definitely not. When you talk about this kind of huge batch processing or multiple entries to be taken, when we let the system handle these things, you tell the system what should be done, and it will take care of processing these details. As part of that background processing, it is generally handled on a node separately. And then on a separate node, other than the maintenance or other than the actual application, we have a node for it to deal with this background process. Yes, there's a separate node. But when does this process happen? I mean like any particular time frame during the day or in any ideas, and like when it would be done. When is this background process? Because when I say background processing of this batch process, it is going to be huge. Any guesses when would that be done? When most of the people are not working on that. Exactly. We say them off peak hours when there's not much the application. If you try to log into IACPC at around 12 o'clock in the night, it says it is under maintenance until you cannot book any tickets. It's under maintenance for 2 hours where they think probably the majority of people are not using it because it's an off-peak hour. Similarly, we decide what are my off-peak hours for the business. When is that the most people there's no customer volume, or when there is a lesser customer volume, those hours are decided as off-peak hours. And then we start looking at the background process. Now in this, two things are important. On which node you are dealing with this background processing and which activity you are performing. Two things are important because the base is again going to be the activity here. The logic, the batch processing, or your email notification or renewal or creation of documents. Everything goes and sits inside the activity. Now who drives this activity is, we have two new options for dealing with this background tasks. Two new rule forms starting from 8. We have got job schedulers and queue processors. These are being used instead of your agents. Generally, what agents do is they automate the process that is earlier being manually done. Now you automate it. Without any manual intervention, the process just goes on. Now those are replaced by job schedulers and queue processors. We'll see how this works. I think we'll take one off. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.